My patient Debra had a post on Facebook today. It says, I have a vlog idea. I'm starting to get a little nervous and I'm wondering what the best techniques are for taking care of my teeth when I get my braces on. Is my Sonic still okay? I use a water pick. Is that okay? How the heck do I floss if needed? Maybe include some tips on how to deal with mouth sores, etc. I know you guys will answer all my questions and show me. But when I'm home and have forgotten, a vlog would be really helpful. Just a thought. Well, thanks, Deb. This is a great vlog suggestion. So let's jump right in. First of all, this post of yours demonstrates why you are one of my favorite patients ever. You already are doing so many things that are going to make braces a lot easier for you. And the fact that you're asking these questions and worrying about this shows me how you're just the perfect patient. When you get braces on, you're adding a lot more nooks and crannies that are going to have to be cleaned. So all the things that you already use to help clean nooks and crannies, keep using them. And that's the Sonicare and the water pick. So I have a pocket Sonicare. This might be a nice thing to add to your repertoire, Deb. This isn't quite as good as the regular Sonicare because the bristles are a little bit stiff, but I run them under super hot water. What I like about it is it can go right in your purse. And since I have one right here at my desk, I'm going to use this to demonstrate the first step, which is brushing. That's going to remove most of the chunks and all the nooks and, oops, that's upside down. Most of the nooks and crannies around all the brackets. What you need to think of is when you have your teeth as they are now, all you have is the place between the teeth to clean. But now you're adding a bracket on top. Just for kicks and giggles, let's pretend that this is the bracket. Now you actually, instead of just having to clean between your teeth, you have to actually clean around the bracket. So what I find really helps is when you're brushing, to let the Sonicare do the work, all you have to do is put it in the right spot. You don't need to move it back and forth. Just put it in the right spot and let the bristles do their thing. So now what you're going to do is instead of just brushing your teeth this way, you're going to take the bristles and put it between the bracket and your gum line and point it down towards the bracket. So now you're brushing and cleaning all of the top of the bracket. This is where most of the debris will want to stick, and it will make the gums get all puffy and swollen, and then they'll bleed. If your gums start bleeding anywhere when you get your braces on, then you know you're missing a spot because the body is bleeding in order to wash that bacteria out of there. Once you've cleaned across the top of the brackets, then you can clean in between, and then I like to turn the bristles and actually point them up from the biting edge of the tooth and point them up and clean under the bottom of the bracket. So you're going to brush top, sides, and front, and then bottom. The Sonicare toothbrush that you have, Deb, has a 2-minute timer. And so that's adequate for doing your whole mouth without brackets on. But if you use the 2-minute timer for each corner of your mouth, that will get, by the time you do 4 beeps, you will have cleaned your whole mouth really well. When you're using your Sonicare, everyone, this is a great tip. Think of a Sonic toothbrush, the motion that you're going to do as a waltz. You don't need to do this anymore. That's your old way of brushing when your toothbrush wasn't doing the work. You had to create the motion. But when you're using a Sonicare toothbrush, the bristles are already doing the motion for you. All you have to do is locate them properly. So in normal brushing, you're going to locate it like this or maybe slightly pointed towards your gums. Once you have brackets on your teeth, you're going to do the top, the front, and the bottom, getting those bristles really jammed in between each bracket. Now, if you think of it as a waltz, you'll hit each tooth for the right amount of time. So instead of going like this, you're going to put the toothbrush right where it needs to clean. Top right is usually where I start. Put the bristle, if you're doing the top, right where it's supposed to be, jam it in there, and then think 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. That's like a waltz, right? 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And that will help keep your right pacing for making sure that you're spending enough time on each tooth. And really, this is about 3 teeth wide, so you're hitting each tooth 3 times when you do it that way. Then go back to the front of the bracket and the bottom of the bracket, same way. Okay, that's the Sonicare. Now, you're still going to use your Hydrofloss. Hydrofloss is the next best thing to mechanical flossing. Mechanical flossing with braces is a real pain. There's lots of tools that they've made to try and make it easier because now your braces have the wire. you have the bracket, but you also have the wire connecting each bracket. So now your floss has to get up and underneath that wire. You can't just, if you try and just pull the floss down, you're going to run into the wire. And that's what you're already thinking ahead, isn't it, Deb? So what they've made are these things that are called floss threaders. It's like a needle and thread idea. And the little tip to make that easier, take a nice long, I like as long as my arm, piece of floss, and then put it on the floss threader. And then I like to tie just a single knot, nice and tight. That will help to keep the floss from sliding out of the threader. The other thing you can do is take your thumbnail and curl the threader to make it easier to hook under the brackets. Now it's just a tedious job of going up under the bracket, pulling it through. Now I'm under the wire. There it is. And now I can go up in there and do my business. They also make a thing called Super Floss. Super Floss is really nifty. It comes packaged like this. You can buy it at any drugstore. And what it has is the threader is already attached to the floss. So you can still curl it, but then you don't have to tie the floss on. And what it has is this puffy piece for cleaning around the brackets. And then your normal wire, or not wire, but your normal thready part for cleaning in between the teeth. Really nice stuff. Now, if all of those things are too complicated and too hard, or you're traveling, then they have come out with some other great cheaters. These are what I call floss cheaters. These are soft picks, and this is the hummingbird. Let me show you how those work. The soft picks come like matchbooks. They're rubber. You tear one off. You can bend them to reach back teeth, so that's kind of cool. And they have a rubber part right here that once you're in between the bracket, you can go in and, let me get lined up here. You can go in and you can scrub this way, or you can actually poke it between the teeth and push in and out and scrub that way. So that's another floss cheater. The hummingbird is the same idea, but it has a battery in it, and all you do is put the tip in between the bracket and push the button, and then just like a Sonicare, it does the motion. We're not going to let you fail, Deb. We're going to be checking you. One of the things that's unique about our office is that we do a gum evaluation at every visit, and if you're missing any spots, it's kind of like having a personal trainer. We will show you what you're doing well and motivate you, but we also help give you tips as to getting the areas that you're missing. So the last thing that you asked about was mouth sores. And when you put on all these nooks and crannies, it can make your gums kind of get beat up until they toughen up. And while you're healing from that, and you first start getting those mouth sores, we have little wax dots that you will roll on and sculpt over your bracket that's causing soreness. And that creates a nice smooth surface again. Your gums will toughen up pretty quickly. It only takes a few weeks. And I think that that's all. I hope that this is helpful for everybody. But Deb, if it's not helpful for you and you need to hear anything else, or you think that there's something else we should be adding, please let me know. I really appreciate the tip on next blog and vlog ideas. Thanks, guys.